Hello everyone, my name is Carbell and welcome back. So for all of you who were here with me, God willing, this past Tuesday, well, hello guys. All right. So once again, good evening. This is Carbell. A little setback. I had to switch between networks, and then the previous, what's the name of that? The previous stream ended, so I had to reset everything again. And then there's 7:15, right here, 7:15 GMT. Wherever you are, and whatever your challenges are, we are solving them right here and right now today. So get your hands ready, get your keyboard, your laptop ready, and let's get straight into this. So I'm going to pick up from where we left off last week, Tuesday. If you weren't able to join, don't worry about that. It's fine. I say it's fine because it's fine. You don't have to worry so much. If you are here, let me know by just spamming the heart on what's the name? Spam the heart or the like, or just let me know in the comment section below as I get started. So I'm going to show my screen quickly whilst you can still see my face here, and occasionally I'll hide my handsome face. All right. But whilst you are here, let's just get started and let's just get straight to it. So this is my YouTube channel. If you are here and you think this a place you can learn, please do want to subscribe to my channel. It will mean something to me. All right. So I'm going to go all the way right here, and this is the design we are trying to bring to life, and this is my VS Code. So I was working on a different project, so that is why you see a different name at the top here. But if you're on any other project, or you're on the project you started from yesterday, that is fine. I hold Control, hold K and 0, or better still, I go to File and I say open a folder. I get to go, I get to locate the folder that I'm using. I put this on my desktop, but usually you would have found it in one of my GitHub projects. All right. So I'm going to go all the way here, and I'm going to go. All right, sorry guys, let's continue. I hope you can see my face. All right, so this is the folder that I started with, and yesterday, it just feels like yesterday actually. So on Tuesday, we're able to, make a lot of leaps. We wrote all this simple HTML here. Not pretty much. We've not written anything for our styles, and then we also brought a few of the assets. So you can see some of these assets. Okay, yeah, here they are. You can see a couple of them. It's loading. I don't know why it's loading. All right, this is a couple of them, and then we installed this extension here called Live Server. So if you are just coming in and you've not installed this yet, please make sure you install Live Server. Now, with that said, let's just get straight into business. So I'm going to activate Live Server. You can see it at the bottom here. It says Go Live. If you click on it, it just opens a live port for you, and then you see all this the code that you have written so far. It's all here. Let me go back to my HTML. It's all well here, and it looks very handsome. If you were in, it looks very nice actually. If this was in early 2000s or 1990s, because these are websites did look, but CSS has made things and has improved. It's gotten better. So let's just get straight to it, and then let's go from where we ended. So where we ended was we ended at this particular place. This is a Figma file. Guys, I'm back. All right, I'm back. Like this video if you are here, and share the link to any friend of yours who value from this. All right, let's continue. So this is the Figma file that we have. We've written the HTML for the main session, this part, and then this part. So the next is we are going to write the CSS for this particular section. All right. So when I see this, once again, sorry about that. I see something going on here. I see that we have this section where this nice, amazing background. It's consistent across all the platforms. But I also realize that we have this great looking thing, 4 columns looking here. It goes down into 2 columns when you're on how do you call this part? The tablet, and then it becomes a single column when you are on a mobile phone. It's the same repetition of what happens here. So I'm beginning to think that I can have something that does the same thing so that I can reuse the same structure. Okay, I'll show you how we'll get about it. And it's pretty much just like what we have here. Okay, so I know exactly how to go about this, and I have a plan in mind. All right, so let's just go to writing the HTML, and um, I'll have it here. I just wish I had a different tab for this. All right, so once again, let me bring it, make it a little smaller here. Oops, I didn't move that. Okay, so bring my VS Code in, go back to my HTML. And once again, like I said, you leave comments to make your code readable and breathable. You don't want somebody to find your code and be wondering, what was that? So I copy this, I paste it, I say this is the end of, how do we call this? Our results, end of section results. So I come here and say section results, all right? And I'm going to say a section with a class of section results. Should I add S results wrapper just to keep things, you know, from overflowing and looking very consistent across all the places, all right? So now the next thing is that just like we have this test at the top right here, it's the same test that is happening here. So I want to repeat it. Just that we'll add another class to be able to add white test to this, all right? Or better still, let me just come up here and then I'll copy this H1 here. Just wait, don't panic. Just stay with me. Don't stay with me. Let me copy the test. My God, I have to just keep going in. Missing font. I don't care about missing font. Just give me. Oh God. Okay. Let me see. I don't even want to read what they are telling me. So the following fonts are not available. Choose replacement font in order to edit test. I'm not really trying to edit the test. So Source Sans Pro. Let me see if I have Source Sans. Yeah. Choose whatever they want for me. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? All right, so let's just replace fonts. I just need to copy the text. All right, so they just let me copy the text now. All right, so I'm going to put it in here and save it. And this is it here. So you have it here. Our results speaks for themselves right there. Okay, and then once again we have this thing, right? This thing here. So I'm just going to, I think what I'll do is I'll have a container, a div with a class of results container. All right, and then I'll push this in and then I save it. But looking at these two things and realizing that they are the same, I might change something else later. But once again, just stick with me. Now let's copy this test, Control C, and then just a paragraph test, so P, and then Control V. Hold Alt and Z to turn off and turn on word wrap. Alt and Z, and I save it. Please, if you do have questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'll definitely take a look at it. I just wish I could see where my comments would go. I'm just trying to find my comment, guys. And well, I can't see it. So if you are in there, if you are if you are if you are here, then I have to just come here and mute this tab so you guys don't have to mute it. All right. So please drop all the comments in the comment section below. I'll be coming here to check them out. If you are here to, please let me know. All right. Somebody says thanks, man. Yeah. Say I got you. So I'll be coming to read the comments and reply the comments. If you're here, just let me know. And then once again, we are in it together. Let's continue as we keep going, right? So the next thing is that I'm going to repeat this grid right here and then replace it with what I have in here. I wonder how I'll do this rectangles, but that's for another time. So we go to my desktop, go to the folder that I have, and then go to the assets. Oh, so they gave me this pentagon. Okay, they gave me this pentagon, so I have to work with it, and I have to find a way to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to make that happen. Okay, Safo, let's get to work. All right, so first of all, how did I say I'm going to make that? I call this one work container, and then that was when I was doing it. I did it work container, all right. But because I want to reuse it, I don't want to have it called work container, so I'm going to have this one called call 1.4, call -1-4. All right. Now the reason why I'm doing this is that it just say that it has, we can have one column and then it can expand to 4 columns. Now just follow along. I know it sounds a little confusing, but please hold on and follow along with me. Okay. So I'll just say 4 columns here. All right. So a div with a class of 4 columns like so. All right. Pay attention. So this is the first. I'm going to put each of them called with a class of result. All right. So each of them, I'm going to say result, result, result. Each of them will have a class of result. And in each result, I'm going to have the first thing, that's the image. All right. With an image with a class of pentagon. Sometimes my spelling is not the best, so please pay attention and help me. All right. Pentagon, and I'll just say pentagon. All right. Save that, and let me see the HTML. So we have our pentagon in here. And then let me bring back the design, and it says +2, so I'll just have an H3, and I'll just say plus 2%. All right, and then save that, and then I have a paragraph tag, and I'll say lorem ipsum sit, and then I'll just save that. So you can see I have all the thing looking here. It's not looking great. Just raw HTML doesn't look good. So this is just one of the results. Okay, I'm going to duplicate it 4 times. So you can do Control-C, and then when you come here, you paste it, and then you go down, and then you paste it, and then you go down, and you paste it. There are other shortcuts to do that. I'm not going to mention it, otherwise I'll be bombarding with too much shortcuts. So once again, guys, that's all the HTML we need for this particular section. Let's go to the contact form, zoom in a little, and there's the contact form, right? It looks okay, right? So let's just get that part going very soon. So once again, I just have to pick some comments and say section contact. If you are just joining, just don't worry. Just watch me follow along from where we got from last week, Tuesday. If you didn't join Tuesday, just follow along from wherever you are. So end of section contact. All right, and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to say section with a class of section contact. All right, and then I'm going to say container and also wrapper. That's just to keep things, tight. And once again, I'm going to go all the way back and come and copy this thing. That's heading secondary, because we want to reuse this particular heading component all the time. So I'm going to paste it, and I'm just going to change this to contact us, and then save it, right? So after that, the next thing we have to do is get our form going. This form is quite a simple form. We have the input field, we have the name, the email, and then the text area, and then this button that seems to be going all over the page. All right, so how am I going to get this? HTML has the form element. So I'm just going to say form. When you just type form, press enter. Action, put pound there, or hash there. All right, so in this form, I'm going to have 3 input fields, right? Let me just move this here a little. I'm going to have 3 input fields. So I'm going to say the first input, I'm going to say input. There's something that people are talking about. You can see the name thing there. So there are so many ways to get this thing done, but I'm going to just go one of the easiest ways to go about it. So I'm going to say input, and then the type is going to be text, because we are just collecting what name. All right, and then I save it, and when I go to my browser, you can see the contact form. You see this is in there. All right, so we have that input, but that is not all we want. Yeah, bring it back. You want to have the name in it. And how do you achieve that? You achieve that by having what we call a placeholder. So the placeholder, you have what we call name. And then I save it. If I go back to my browser, you can see down there is name in the input text. And when I start typing, you realize that the name vanishes away. All right. Yep. I'm not supposed to save there. All right. But there's one more thing we want to have. Okay. I want to have something called I want to have something called name. This will be very useful when you are sending file to. This will be very, very useful when you are trying to receive it in your email. Okay, so that when somebody fills this form and sends it, you want to know where the various information is coming from, which field. So if it's coming from this particular name, I want it to tell me the name, and then I'll explain that later. What I'm saying is that when somebody fills this form and sends it, it will send you an email. You can have an integration where to send you an email. Okay, but the email will come with the content from the form. You want to be able to map out which content is from which particular field. So by having a name section and calling that a name section, let me show you this. A name section, I hope you can see my screen. A name section here, and then putting what we call full name here. All right, when the person fills this form and sends it, you're going to have full name, then the information from what the person inputted in that column. It will make sense very soon. Don't bother. All right, so we have our name, our placeholder, and then there's something called required, but I'll look at it in a bit. The next one is you're going to have another input. By this type, we want the type called email. We have a type called email, and it's very good because when you're on some devices and then you get to that field, say you're using a mobile phone and you get to an input field that has a type of email, automatically the @ appears on your keyboard, making you input things much easier, just compared to just having the regular type that is, what's the name? The text type. All right, and so they also wrote, let's have a placeholder of email, and then you also have a name once again of our email address. And then the last type is what we call the text holder. Here it looks quite small. All right, it looks quite small, but it can be bigger, it can be anyhow you want it. All right, how do we get that one? We just say text area and you press enter. So the text area is just like an input, but because you can type more, it gives you the chance to type more. I mean, I don't know if that works for you. I hope you can see my screen. So the name of that one is going to be let me just say message. All right, an ID of also message. Now, to a certain point, you might have to add IDs if you're going to have a lot of JavaScript things working, but I'm not going to do that. All right, what placeholder do we have for that? It says your message. So placeholder, it says your message, and then we are done. So if you look at the HTML, you can already see that here we can expand it. The message side, we can kind of expand it. Yeah, and we are not done. Let's add a button. So here we can have an input with and the type is supposed to be what? Submit. You can have a button here, but I'm going to use input. The type is what? Submit. And we don't need any placeholder. We don't need any what's the name? We don't need any scary thing, but we do need one thing, because if I save it right now, look at the button. It says submit. The button has text of submit right underneath. I don't know if you can see my screen. Okay, right here it says submit. That's not what I'm trying to have. So what value? What can we put in there? I think I might even have forgotten. But let's add a class of btn, because it's the same button as everything that we have there. But I think what we can have in there is what we call value. Let me see. So call to action and save that. And let me see whether it works. Okay, yeah, so it works. So you use the value to tell what comes in. Otherwise, you have submit there. You don't want submit there. If you're just joining, let me know all your comments in the comment section below. Let me come and check. So please loud your volume, but no JavaScript. Yeah, Emmanuel, there's no JavaScript, so that's why I didn't bother adding any IDs. Okay, but you can add IDs if you want to do something with it in the HTML. So I'll try and speak louder for you, Jupiter, right? And guys, let's continue once again. So now we have one more thing to go. That's the footer. This footer here, and then I think the footer is very basic. We have columns, two columns here. On the mobile device, it's still here, two columns. On the mobile device, it's just one column. I think I'll use display of flex to handle this one. It should be very, very, very easy for all of us. All right. So I'll just come down here once again. Once again, you write your comments and you label everything. So I just say section footer, and then I'll go here and say end of section footer. So a section with a class of section, no. I'll just say footer with a class of section footer. All right. And then I'm going to put container and then wrapper in there. And then finally, I'm going to, what else am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to do a div with a class of footer container, right? And in this footer container, I'm going to have two things, one here and the other here. Do I have this logo? So this is 6 kilobytes and this is 2 kilobytes. Okay, one seems to be bigger. Logo headphones. Right, I'll use a bigger one. So in there, I'm going to have two things. That's the IMG, the image. All right. Go to where was it? Logo headphones. Yeah, and I'll just say whole button logo, and then save that. And let me see what the HTML looks like. So it's there. It's there. Okay. The white is not showing because of the background is white. And then the other side, we have these logos here. I don't know if I'm going to use font awesome, but let me see the asset that they gave us if they added the logos. Okay, they didn't add the logos. They didn't add the logos. Safo, you have an option to make things easy for your guys. Would you make it easy or you make it hard? Let me just show you what I would have done working on any other project. So I'll go to font awesome here. It's one of the easy fonts that I use. All right. So here I can just get the icons that I need. So I just type Facebook. So I can just copy this. All right. But before I can do that, let me just say social icons. And in here, I'm going to have an unordered list. So UL with a class of social list. And in there, I'm going to have a list item with a class of, a list item with a class of social item. And in the LI, I'm going to have an anchor tag with a class of social link. Okay, guys, just hold on. Social link like that. And then where is it going? It's going nowhere. And in there, that's what I'm going to paste the first thing. I'm going to paste this. So if you come here, you can click this and then you copy it. All right. And then I paste it in there and I save it. So this is Facebook. Now look at what I'm duplicating. I'm duplicating from the LI. So I'm going to copy and then come down, paste. Copy, come down, paste. I save it. I go to my website. The dots are showing, but the icons are not showing. That's because to use font awesome, you need what we call the font awesome CDN. All right. If I go here, I think it's the first link. So just look at it. This particular first link, the first link that comes. When you come, just copy the code here. Copy the code tags. And then when I come in here, I'll go all the way to my header. And right after my main style sheet, I'll leave a comment first and say font awesome CDN. It's good to do that. And then I'll paste it and then I save it. And when I save it and I come to my website, now I can see 3 Facebook at the right bottom corner here. But that's not the plan. We are not planning to use 3 of the Facebook because we had Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I go to font awesome again and then I search. All right. So Facebook, Twitter, right? Just click on that, copy this, and then when you come in there, oh, there's WhatsApp. Shouldn't be here. I come here, I'll go back all the way there, replace the second one with Twitter, save it, and the last one, I'm just going to type the name Instagram because I have a good feeling about this, and save it, and then I have Instagram also there. So I'm almost done. There's one more thing for the HTML. That's the bottom corner. this here, what I have right here. So I just copy that, and then out of, remember, you have to step out of the footer container, because the footer container is just to contain these two things, 1 year and then 1 year. So let me even do a demarcation on that. Say end of footer container. All right, and then in here I'm going to have a paragraph text, put this in there, and then save it. And that is all for my HTML amazing looking website. We'll come back for the navigation, but that's just right after I get all the CSS going for this. So guys, we are getting straight into the CSS. Let me know how ready you are. Let me check that if some people have dropped a few comments, respond to those, and then we can go from there. So someone says that, can you scroll up so your video doesn't cover the VS Code? So my video doesn't cover the VS Code. Let me see. I wonder what that means. Can I scroll up so my video feed? Okay, then I'm hiding my face now. Sas, I hope this helps you. And I'm making my VS Code a little bigger so you guys can see it. Make it a little bigger. Oh, make it a little bigger. So we are going right into the styling of this. Please take your time and hold on with me. I know this is going to be a little confusing and tough, but I believe in you. We're going to make it happen. That is with my face, and this is just without my face. Let's get straight into this. And Marilyn J says can't see the code, please. So now I'll not be showing my face when I show the screen. Thank you, whoever dropped the heart. Thank you very much. And let's get straight into things. All right. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is that if you look at all of this text that we have here, some of them have spaces underneath them, some of them have everything underneath them. That is because by default, if you have your code, by default, they all have spacing, padding, and stuff around them. I don't want that. I want to be the one to determine the amount of padding. I don't want whatever determine the padding for me. So I'm going to reset everything. I call that one a very essential step. So if I use this hashtag sign, it selects everything, okay? But I don't want to only select that. I want to select everything and their pseudo elements. So just do this like I'm doing here before, and I'll put a comma. And then I'll also do the same thing, and then I put after. Now, the comma allows you to put 1 or 2 or 3 more, 2, 3, 4 more HTML elements and apply the same styles to them. So I'm going to say padding of 0, and I'm going to say margin of also 0. And the next important thing, box sizing of border box. I'm not explaining this, but it's very essential. You have to do this step with me. When I save it, things are just changed in my browser here. All right, things just collapse, things just change in my browser. There's no space that we're seeing earlier. Let me just hide this again and then save it. And you see there's a lot of spacing going around. I undo that, save it, and then all the spaces are gone. It's an essential step. The next thing is I'm going to also have my HTML element. And in my HTML element, I'm going to do something very, 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 very important. I'm going to do what we call width, 100%, and then height of also 100%. If I'm typing fast, enjoy it. And then scroll behavior of smooth. You appreciate that when I start using that one. All right, then I go to body, and then the body, I also want a width of 100%. I want a height of also 100%. I want what else do I want? What else do I want? What else do I want? Save it, and things are kind of taking form. I see some amazing things happen. Let's look at the fonts that were used in this design. Let me see this font. What font is this? Source Sans Pro. Okay, let's go to Google Fonts and let's get that font. So I'm going to just search for Google Fonts. Google Fonts is a free font repository. You can get access to free fonts. You can use them in your project. Google will not hold you accountable to that. This is my face once again. So let's search for the font that just came. Is this Source Sans Pro? Whoop. Source Sans Pro. Is that it? Did I get it right, guys? Source Sans Pro. Okay, did I spell it well? Yeah. Oh, why would they not use that? Source Sans Pro. Let me search anywhere else. Source Sans Pro. What? Source first. So I guess it might be this because Google is giving me this. I don't want to use any other place. I'm going to use just this one. All right. So let's say get font, and then they have you options embed, get embed code. That's what we want. We don't want to download it. You should also download and install it so you can use it um, on your website. So we have a couple of options here. We have web, Android, iOS, Flutter. Don't look that. We have two options to copy this into our style or to add this to the HTML. I want the HTML one. So just copy this and then let's get to the HTML right underneath our main. Sorry guys, my face is still showing. So right underneath this is the main style sheet. I have it here. It says Google font. All right, and just paste it in there and save it. So nothing is really happening here. I hope you guys are following. All right, it has its own link. I don't know, Emmanuel, I don't think I get you, but let's get back to my CSS. So the um, font family, they kind of help you. They said after putting this in your HTML, you have to do something in your CSS. In your CSS, you have to add a font family of, let me make it bigger. You have to add a font family of this, and then the rest, don't mind them. So I just need my font family of this and copy that. And then just take a look at how the font changes in there. And then I save it. And then the font just changed, just like that. Smooth like butter. And I'm going to say font weight of 400. That's like normal. Okay. And I'm also going to say a line height of 1.5. Let me see. Yeah, that makes it a little readable. Sometimes I even go straight to 2. 2 is, I think, better. All right, and I save it, and then this font is looking amazing. There's one more thing I always do to my HTML. I say, but I'll not do it today. Let's just let's just go ahead and let's get things going. So if you are here, you are pretty much almost done, but there's one more important thing that I want us to do. I know you guys are not up for this and you probably not gotten there, but I believe that um, you're on your way to becoming a front-end developer. So we start doing things like you're a front-end developer who is just probably learning. All right. So just do this. Let's get a color code for this button. So it's here. I copy it. I think that's the only different color aside white and black that we are going to be seeing. And I'll go straight to my body, and then I'll declare this color. So I'm going to use what we call CSS variables. CSS variables allows me to have, let me say, like variables that I can call on at any time. So I'll tell I'll tell the code that this is a phone. Anytime or anywhere on the website that I shout phone, bring me this particular phone. I can tell the code that this is color red. Anytime I say red, bring me this particular color red, not any other color red. That is how CSS variables work. I'll show you in a bit. Don't worry at all. So you say dash dash dash. That's how you declare it. The dash dash dash. Dash dash dash, and you type the name of the thing. So I'm going to call it color. It's orange. It looks. Let me just call it color red. Right? And then I put this there. So yeah, guys, if you're wondering how my color is showing here, I have an extension called, is it Peacock? I have an extension that allows my color, so many extensions. Yeah, please don't look at it. All right. I have an extension that allows my color to show. So I've just declared this to be color red. Let me open my browser and show you something. If I should say color should be, and this is how you call the colors. You say VAR, yeah, virtual video assistant referee, VAR. You open the bracket, the normal bracket, and then you type the name of it. So color red, and then I save that. It changes all the color to that particular color red. And watch something. If I should come here and change this color red to any other color, let me make it green. And then save it. it changes to that color green. If I change it to color blue, make it like high blue, it changes to color blue. It's amazing because when you start your project, sometimes things can change. You know, it will be just nice to be able to take a step up there and change just this color, and it changes everything else on the website. It's so amazing. All right, can you see the screen? I hope you saw the screen. Oh, guys, sorry, sorry about that. I'll go over it again. I have to go over it again. All right. So let me just go a step back. All right. So this is how you declare a CSS variable. You do 2 dash, 1 dash, and then you type the name of the variable you want to create. So I'm calling it color red. All right. And then after that, you put the the item there. So you can put margin or anything. I'm putting a color in there, and then I'm saving it. Now nothing happens. Let me show you how to call upon that color. You say VAR, like video assistant referee. Open the curly braces, and then can you see my screen now? I hope you can see my screen now. All right. I just got a message that you can't see my screen. So dash, and then you call it color red. All right, and then oh, sorry. I want the color of the text to be to be color red, like so. So, and then the whole color changes to color red. I'm making this a comment. All right, and I would have just said color to, let me say, red. If I say color red, you see this color red is different from if I made it this color red. This color red is the color that we have here. If I should change this color to, let me say, even yellow, all right, and save it, you see it changes to yellow. Very ugly. If I change this color here to, let me say, pink, real men wear pink. You see we have this amazing pink here, all right? So just by setting one CSS property and reusing it across my whole website, first of all, it makes it easy because I don't have to be chewing the color code or memorizing the color code. I just call my CSS property and then it will reuse it for me. It's very easy. And then I don't have to be, if I change it once here, it changes everywhere that I applied color red to. But obviously, I'm not going to have this. I'm just going to make it black, 000. Let me even check if the design we had, the colors were really black. So even the design, the color was not black. The text color is not even black. It's this shade, right? So I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to do the right thing in here. I'm going to have another thing, and I'm going to call it color black because it wasn't that color. And I'm changing this to VAR. I say color black, and then it changed to that shade for us, making us look very professional and very authentic. All right, so now we have that for the body. Before we continue, what I want to do is I want to set up a few systems to make the work easier for us. Follow me along. I'll show you something. What I'm going to have next is, I'll just say container. All right, but first let me set up my media queries. Now, the media queries allows us to be able to write responsive code. The code that will apply to only a particular time when you ask it to do. All right. If you come here and you right click and inspect, if you right click and you inspect, you also probably come like this, right? I don't like it like this. Okay. I decide to just undock it so I can have freedom, see my full screen. All right, so you have it here. If you go to the top left corner of this particular one, you see a laptop and a phone. If you toggle it, you can see how the website will look on the various devices. If I come here and there's responsive design dimensions responsive, if I click on it, you have the various devices. So I can have iPhone SR. This is how this website looks on an iPhone SR right now. Surface whatever Pro. I think that looks like a Mac. Supposed to be a big Surface, right? Samsung Galaxy S8 Tab and Google Pixel in here. iPad Mini, whatever the name is, right? So, but if you click in the middle, these lines here, you can see the various ones. So this is a small phone. This is a much bigger phone. This a much bigger phone. This is a tablet dimension. So tablet with tablet usually get 768 pixels. All right. So I'm going to say in here, I'm going to say tablet. Don't laugh at my and I'll say this is how we say it. Is it media? I've forgotten how to type it. Is it at okay, yes, at media screen, and then you put in the dimension. I say max width, okay, of 768 pixels. And then I open two curly braces. So this will be for tablet. Let me just end it there. End of tablet. Copy the same thing from here and paste it. And then I'll call this one smartphones. All right. And smartphones are usually, I'll just make it 500 pixels. 500 pixels. Okay. And then we have to do for large desktop, like desktop screens. Even that one, we have desktop and then very large screens. So I'll copy the same thing and paste it. And then the max width, let me just say, 1000. I'll just say minimum width of 769 pixels. So the moment you cross from the tablet and you're going up, it should be for only the I'll call this one what desktops. Now you're wondering why I'm writing this. Look at something. Let's go to the tablet mode and then say body, say display of none, and save it. You see here we have dimensions. We have what's the name of this? The display of none has kicked in, and because it's a max width of this, every from 768 pixels downwards to 0, this code will start kicking in until you rewrite any of this code. If I should come here and say body of display of block, so from 500 pixels going downwards, I want body to display block. Now the body shows here, but if I should go to tablet right now, it goes blank. This is just responsive code kicking in because this display none only applies for what? Tablets coming all the way down to 500 pixels. Then that next code, which of display block, sets in. It's amazing, guys, what you can do with media queries. But for now, I'm just going to, clear all of this and delete it. I don't need it. I just need it to be set up down there, ready and waiting to go. And also, I'm going to disable the responsive design looking here. So let's go and do what I wanted us to do. The class of container which we used for the previous one. We said the container is to help us put all of this in check. They don't scroll above across, right? So I'm going to have first of all a max width of say 1060 pixels. Save it. It doesn't show anything here, but if I go here, you realize that there's a wide space all to the right hand side here. All right, so I'm going to just say margin right of auto, and then margin left of auto. Now, for most of you, what you don't know is that I've not built this site already. I'm just starting. I'm building it as I'm doing with you. So I'll be guessing a lot. All right. And so this is as simple as it can get. So now you see there's a space here and there's a space to the right hand side. That's what margin auto does. If it is not occupying the full width, and then somewhere here, if you use margin auto for left side and right side, it will center it for you. It's also a trick you can always use. Okay. Let me check if there are any comments. All right. Carbell, will just see your face now and not your screen. Oh. Has this already been resolved, guys? Has this already been resolved? Let me just continue. I think it has already been resolved. Right. So yeah, it has. So let's continue. Let's get going. And the next thing I'm going to do is how on the mobile devices, you realize that there's just a little bit of spacing to the left and right. Okay. So let's get that one going. So that's where the wrapper comes in. All right. So I say padding right of, let me just say, well, 20 pixels, and then padding left of also 20 pixels. Somebody will be wondering, why don't you just add it to the container? Please, please, please. I don't want to add it to the container. So it doesn't really do anything in here, but I'll copy the same padding here, go to my desktops, and at the desktop side, I want the padding to be more like 100 pixels. Go to the desktop. So our desktop, it looks pretty simple. Not really a lot. I think 100 might be too much for them. So let me just make it 50. And then that makes it 50. So now we've been able to accomplish that simple task of having our website centered and not bleeding all the way to the edge with the container. So that was why in the HTML, when we're writing for the HTML, every section that we got to, we added container and we added wrapper. Just so when we get here, we can be able to keep all of them. See, container and wrapper is all over the place for all of them. All right. So that's the first thing that I'm setting up. The next thing I'm setting up is my buttons. But before I set up my buttons, let me just say container and grids. I'm going to set up the grid that we saw, the grid that goes like this. It's 4 here, it becomes 2 here, and becomes 1 here. Let's set up that grid quickly. So I'm just, what name did I give to that? Control find. So Control F to find. So I think I did it call, yeah, it pops up here. Let me copy that. I don't want to go make a mistake. And then paste it in there. And then, so first of all, you have to say display of what grid. And then now, after displaying grid, you can choose the number of columns that you want. Somebody asked me on Tuesdays that I said I built for mobile first. Somebody asked me why mobile first. Let me explain to you right here. So I have display grid. I'm looking at it here. Now I say grid template columns. All right. Grid template columns of what? 1FR, 1FR. If I save that, you can see we have 2 columns. It's already happening 2 columns in here for us. Even here, even there. Before I continue, right underneath my body, I'm going to just do something. I'm just going to say IMG, and that's for all images. I'm going to say width of 100% and then height of auto. Save that. Yay, very ugly looking, so we don't have any overflows on the left. They just take 100% of whatever container that they find themselves in. Okay. So let me come back to this one here, and then I have grid template rows. I'll say auto. So take as many rows as you need to be able to get the task done. That is all the grid template rows does. All right. But there's something I want. I just don't want 1FR, 1FR. I don't want 2 columns. I actually want 3 columns. 1FR, 1FR, and 1FR. 3 columns like this. And then I want a little gap of, let me say, so the gap is the space in between the various columns. Queries, I can go to my tablet here, and like there I can say dot call 1 to 4. It just popped up for me like that, and I say grid templates columns, and I say 1FR, 1FR, and then now you can see we have 2 columns because now it says max width of this. So from 768 pixels going all the way down to 0 pixels, it will apply this code to it. But then I'll copy the same code here and go to my smartphones. I think I should separate them a little bit more and just change it to 1FR like that and save it. Whoop, save it. That meaning this is probably more than 500 pixels. So you see, now it kicks in for 500 pixels. So if I go above 500 pixels, it goes to 2 columns. If I keep going, and now when I get to the place where the minimum width is 769 pixels, this kicks in and it gives me my 4 columns. And that also doesn't go beyond past what the container is restricting it to. So guys, you see, very, 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 very smooth work going on here. I also want to do one thing to my button, the button that we saw. Let's start this button quickly. Let me have it here so you guys can see it whilst I style it. So right underneath my container, so I'll just say end of container, container and columns. All right. So here I'm going to say buttons, 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 buttons. Life is but a dream. So I give the class of .btn. All right, and so the btn, I save it. Let me check if there are any comments, people saying anything. Are people saying anything? Okay, guys, you're not saying anything. If you are getting it, please drop a like. Tell me something here. How is it going? Drop a like on this video if you've not liked it, because the number of people watching is 12, but only 3 people have liked it. Like this video, guys. We need to like it so people can also find it and benefit. Now let's start our button quickly and then let's go. So the first thing I want to do is display of inline block, but I'll not do that yet. I'll just do a few things and I'll show you why we use display block. So I'm going to say background color. Remember, we said we are using CSS variable. So var, open the columns, dash dash, color red, and save it. And you can see our button is already picking up color red. There's an underline underneath it. We don't want that. That one is in test decoration. You see test decoration of none. The underline is gone. What color was it actually? It was white. Color of white. So that's FFF. I could even set a CSS variable for this. I would always do that. All right. And then another important thing is I think the font weight is a little bold. So I just say bold. Yeah, because I realized it in the design. It's a little bold in there. And it's all caps. So I can use CSS to make it all caps. I say text, this style. I think it's font style. Yeah, it must be font style. I'll say uppercase. Save it. Okay, it's not, if it didn't work, so it's definitely not font style. I think it's text transform. Yeah, uppercase. And then I save it. It's here, but I've forgotten. Okay, so let's go. The next thing I'm going to give some padding. Padding allows us to put space within the element. Margin is outside the element. Padding is within the element. So let's look at that. I'm going to have some padding of like 10 pixels up and down, and then 30 pixels left and right. And it doesn't look bad. Okay, it doesn't look bad. It actually doesn't look bad. And I'll say border radius of like around 10 pixels. Save it. Yeah, we can increase that. So let me say 30 pixels. Yeah, it looks kind of okay, but it's important that you always have what we call display of inline block. So we have 3 types of displays. We have inline block, and block. Block takes up the whole line here. So if I should, all paragraph elements are display block. So they take the whole space, the whole width. All right, they take the whole width. But inline block takes only where inline element take up to where they end. So from the, let me just show you what I mean. Oh God, should I be explaining this? If I say display of inline and save it, you see what just happened there? The paragraph just filled up to the side here. But if I change it to paragraph display of block, it has to be on its own line. Oh, you guys didn't see that. Sorry about that. Look, let me just skip that part. All right. So if I should just change the paragraph to display of inline, you guys didn't see that. Can you see my screen now? And then I save it. You see the paragraph just moved to the side of the button. But change this to display of block, it takes its own line. So the block takes a whole new line. Inline, no, it takes as much space as from where it can start getting the space from. But the problem with inline is that inline alone cannot take padding margin. But inline block has the ability to take padding margin, because block elements takes padding and margin. You understand it if you are writing your code and some things are behaving like you don't want it to behave. Let's add a little animation on this. So I'm going to copy this. But before that, there's a shadow on the button. So let's add a shadow quickly. I'm going to say box shadow of 0 is the first. It has a value, a value, a value, a value, and then a color. All right. So the first value is the x-axis. So let me say 0. The second value is the y-axis. I'm just going to say like 10 pixels. Save it. The next value is how do I call it? Spread. Is it spread? Let me just make it 10 pixels to. Well, not box sizing, box shadow, and save it. Good. So the next value, this value is for spread, and then so let me just show you what I mean. And this is for this. So you see this value, when I increase the fourth value, it just showed how deep the thing was. Change it to 0, and you see it's not really showing much. If I change this to like 50, you see it's getting wider but blurrier. So this is the blur value of it, and this is how much it was spread. Okay, and this is X and this is Y. So I'll hide, I don't need how black is going to be, and I'll reduce this to 10. Save that and change. If you hover on this, you get the opacity. If I click here, click here, click here, I can make it an RGB, and I can pull down the slider, all right, and save it. I'll probably reduce this to like 5. Whoa, not 50 pixels, I mean 5. Yeah, probably also, make it even like 2. Or let me just make it 5 and then change this to 5. Once again, I've not built this already, so I'm kind of experimenting with the figures. Make this 3, make this 5, save it. All right, so this is our button, and let's copy this, Control C, Control V. If you hover and a comma, the same thing again. If you focus, because people people move through a website by holding tab. So if you don't write code for them, you're in trouble. I want the color to be VAR color red, and I want the background color to be white. I'm going to add some transition to the elements, so it transitions to that. Transition of 0.4 seconds. Save it, hover on it. We have this nice looking animation on that. Well, Figma file didn't give us that. Okay, so I think the next thing is this title here. Let's start this title, and then that'll be all. But even that, let's just start this section, and let's quickly get going. So now I can do my home section hero. All right. So I section hero. End of section hero. So I'm just going to say section hero. You can copy that and go and put it out. I'm just going to say width of 100%. Save that. Whatever your screen size is, it's going to take 100% of that. So viewport height, that's what a viewport height does. If I should do this, you see it's taking the whole 100 viewport height, and the next thing continues right after I scroll. All right. Why did I do that? I think the design kind of, says that. But I don't want to do 100. I'll probably do like 90. Somebody knows that there's something to scroll down, so that somebody knows that there's something to scroll down there. All right. Let me see any comments for me to say. You guys, I took comment. Thanks for joining again. I saw you from Tuesday. I remember your profile picture. All right. But if you've not liked my video, please drop a like on the video. It's important. And the next thing I'm going to do is go back to my website and let's get going. All right. But let's keep the background. Remember the background that we see in here. Let's bring it in. What's the name of that file? Yeah, okay, they've even done it for us. Hero. All right, let me just copy it for copying sake. Control C. So I'm going to say background. Can you see my screen? I hope you see my screen. Background image. All right. And now we're going to go, we have the URL feature, the URL file. And once again, we know how that goes. Headphone Hero 1. Save that, and then look at what our website looks like. And that is where we come in and we say, where am I? Background to my face. If you see background size of cover, it stretches the image to cover. All right, let's get back in there. So it's important to do that. And then you have what we call background position. Because if you look at this design very well to the right, I wonder where it's going, but it's centered here. So let's just have some code to cover. So background position of center, and save it. And now the picture runs all the way to the middle, looking easy, looking amazing. All right. And once again, we left space for them to know that something scrolls right down the items in there. All right. So there are so many ways to go around that. Copy the dot section, and then dot hero a hero container. All right, I'm going to say width of 100%, and then also height of also 100%, and then a background color of like what, red. And now, so guys, you can see what's happening in here to center this. All right, but in fact, I don't want to bring on position, so I'm going to go all the way to my guys. A minute, I'll be back. A minute, let me just sort this out quickly. I'm back. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8:17. My time is already up. I'm supposed to be end earlier, but let me finish at least this part with you so that we can continue. There are so many ways to go around with this. Okay, let me show you what I will do. I hope you can see my screen now, and I will go all the way to my hero, and I'll say position. Let me just say this. I'll set position to this. I'll say position of absolute, and then I want it to go top of 0, left of 0, 50%. And now you can see it has brought it nicely here, but I want to be in the center, not at the right corner. And what I can do is I can do transform, and I'll say translate. Translate means move x, y, move x, y. So there's the x value, and then there's, okay, move to your left negative 50% of your width, and move to your right also negative 50% of your height. Whoa! Okay, something scary just happened. All right, let me see. Yeah, let me sort it out quickly. Okay, so translate X and translate Y. Now, there's something you need to know about position absolute. Just because I set this width and height of 100%, that is the reason why it's doing what it's doing. Anytime you set position of absolute, it becomes absolute next to the next bigger thing that it finds position attached to. If it doesn't find position attached to the next big thing now, it will just keep going out and out and out until it can find the body, and then it will position itself absolute to the body. Okay, now because I set width and height to 100%, and then I did this when I save, you see it set itself absolute to the whole body because it doesn't find position on any other thing. So I'll come to the section hero and say position of what, relative. Just do this and bear with me. And obviously I don't want width and height to be 100%. And then I save that. So you can see we have this. I'll just say width of, I'll go to my container element. I'll go to my container element once again. Where is it? It should be somewhere here. And then I'll add position of what, relative to this. So that when it's looking for something to be positioned, well, okay. So that when it's looking for something to be positioned to, this is the hero container. It will look in here and then it will see the container and then it will position itself absolute to the container. Let me just fix this back quickly and then we move along. This is like the last thing. Today when I'm building a website, I will not do this. All right, save that. All right, today when I'm building a website, I will not do this. I will not build it this way. Just say weight of 100%, height of also 100%, and save it. Somebody's calling me. Oh, I'm sure my screen was showing. Save this. I wonder why Emmanuel is calling me. Okay. There's a little bug in here, guys. Let me just quickly fix it. Fix it, fix it, fix it. So let me see what happens if I put um, weight of 100% here and also height of 100% in the container. Good. Now that fixes the issue. I don't even need to use position anymore. I don't want to use position. All right. So by setting width and height of the container element to 100%, I can I can now tell this to pick the width and the height of the parent element. So this is the container, hero container. It will pick the width and the height, 100% of what the container, the next parent element is, which is this. I think I should check my comment section, because if that call came in, your face is not showing. Let's continue. So guys, I hope you got it. Let me just go over again. So here I'm hiding the width and height. So it doesn't have any width and height, all right? But the moment I set width and height to this, it will pick the width and height of the parent element. And since earlier on, the container didn't have any width and height set to it, it didn't know what it was picking. But by setting the width and height of this, it was able to pick the width and height of that thing, this line. I don't want the background color of red. Right, so flex, look at what it's doing. It has just put it into columns. So I'll say flex direction of column. Save that. It arranges it one after the other like that. And I'll say align items center and justify items, justify content, also center. Save that, and then it will center everything for me. So wherever I am, it centers for me. Whatever screen I am, it centers everything for me. And then it's in here nicely. So and also one important thing, test align of center, and then it applies the test align neatly for me. So that's pretty much for the hero section. Let me look at the design again. I want to put some padding and some spaces around. So I'll just quickly come in here, say section hero, and then .btm, because that's the button, and say I'm going to give it a margin bottom of like what, 20 pixels, and save it. And then yeah, it's creating that. I think 20 is a little small compared, considering what I saw. So like 40 pixels, and then it does it. And then margin top. If I was in GitHub, I'll push this up for GitHub. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this, and how you've enjoyed it so far. Unfortunately, my time is up and then I have to go, but I've set the foundation for us to get a lot of this thing done easily. If I'm able to meet you again, I'll help you solve this issue up quickly in less than an hour, because the foundations have all been set. So if you are here and if you enjoyed this session, once again, give it a like. If you didn't understand, feel free to come back again and watch it again and follow along as you do, and I know you will get it. And once again, my name is Carbell. It's nice to meet you. Kind courtesy of King George, Emmanuel, and the amazing team, Rhapsody and the amazing team. Thank you so much if you're able to make it for this session. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I'll catch you guys in the very next video. That's God willing on Tuesday when we finish this thing up quickly. But I'm curious to see what you do yourself. And without